Wavecatcher Miyu has finally dropped in P5X and has a ton of things in her arsenal, immediately making her one of the best AoE damagers inside of the game. But as all units have, you have to build them correctly in order to get the most out of them. And inside of today's video, guys, you won't only just understand how she works, but you'll also get the best results in building her. My name's Blade as always, and we're going to get straight into the video. So getting straight into the whole guide here, this is going to be an AoE unit that without a doubt you guys are going to enjoy using, seeing that she's able to deal a ton of DPS pretty easily, and it all derives from her follow-up attack percentages. By going ahead and doing follow-up attacks, every time she hits this, she gets stronger and stronger as rounds does go on, and it pretty much allows you to deal insanely high damage markers. But all of this starts with her best weapon. The best weapon that we're going to be talking about first is going to be the 5-star weapon, the Mermaid Dreamer. The Mermaid Dreamer itself is able to increase your crit damage by 36.3%, as well as the resonance critical rate by 16.4%. Now, whenever you are spending your SP to activate a skill, or even a resonance being the follow-up attack, it then is allowing Wavecatcher Miyu to then increase her damage by 6.8%. Now, this can immediately stack up to 5 times, and it is a permanent effect as well, which is very helpful if you're looking to deal some crazy damage. Now, of course, if you end up boosting this up and you end up going ahead and going for the higher, at least investment side of things, the critical damage goes from the lower part where it is to now 69% crit damage, while the resonance critical rate goes from where it was now to 31.4%. Alongside with now the extra damage, you're getting the 12.8% as well, which is a huge jump from just the R0 weapon. As for a different one that is very helpful for a budget here, you can still use the 4-star weapon, just you will have a lot less damage, or a little bit less damage here. So for the 4-star weapon, this is called the Jelly Voyager. If we go ahead and get this at a R0 standpoint, which you're going to end up maxing this out as well, it's going to be 12% attack, going with also an increased 22% attack as long as a surf is active. If you go ahead and get it up to the highest point that it's going to be at, you're going to get 24% attack percent, and then increase the overall attack if surf is active by 43%. This is a huge jump. It's pretty darn nice as well, especially for a 4-star weapon, but you're only getting the attack percent out of this. The 5-star is giving you a little bit extra, which is the critical rate, crit damage, and of course the extra damage itself. If you do want to get some other factors out of this, especially the crit damage and crit rate, you will have to invest into your wonder a little bit more in order to do so. So keep that in mind, especially if you're deciding not to go for the weapon. But with that out of the way, it's pretty simplistic. We're going to go ahead and get into the gear. Getting along with Miyu's best gear set, this one's pretty simplistic, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have it built. It is going to be the Meditation and Opulence gear set. The reason that we're going for this is because everything derives off of her resonance or the follow-up attack that she's able to deal, and by going ahead and using this card set, you're increasing your follow-up critical damage by 50%. This character really does love a lot of crit damage and a lot of pierce, and by using this, you're going to make sure you're hitting the tip-top shape of your damage as much as possible whenever you have like your skill 3 active, and obviously are getting your follow-up attacks. This is a very helpful card set, and I think this is going to give you the best effects that you really want to have, especially if you're using this character. As for the main stats that you're going to be looking for, you're mainly going to be trying to find out the attack and or damage multi side of things. I usually prefer damage multi more because getting the attack percentage, especially for my caps, are pretty darn easy. So damage multi is my primary factor here. As for your star, you want to make sure that you have a crit multi card. And then for your sky, you want to make sure you're having SP recovery or attack percentage. I go for SP recovery on this one just because I kind of cheaped out and I was expecting not to get her A1. Went for the A1 later down the line, which did help us out a little bit more, but I still like the SP recovery just for extra insurance. So if you feel like you don't need this, you can go for the extra attack percentage, which is very helpful as well. But those are the stats I normally go for the main stats. As for your overall sub stats, this is where things change a little bit. Now the character does want a decent bit of pierce as well, but I feel like still the most important thing is going to be the crit damage and crit rate side of things as our first priority. The more crit damage and crit rate we have, obviously we're going to deal way more damage in general. Next will most likely be your SP recovery, seeing that this is a huge jump, especially with the amount of stuff that you do need on this character. And then lastly, getting damage multi and or pierce rate is really good. I would probably prefer pierce rate more than damage multi, seeing that we most likely are going for a damage multi moon card. So try to get yourself a lot of pierce rate to make sure she can really exploit the amount of damage she can deal. But with that all out of the way, you prioritize the right substats, you're already leading yourself to a path of success. But with this out the way, let's go ahead and check out our awarenesses. To continue, we have the Wavecatcher Miyu's low awareness investment. Now, this is something that normally I don't always do, mainly because, of course, I'm usually always getting the A0, especially on my free-to-play account. So I'm going to assume a lot of you guys already know what the A0 does, and we're only going to talk about the A1 and A2. For the low investment, especially on the lowest side, the most I would really go is the A1. The main reason for this, Offshore Paradise being the A1's name here, decreases the SP cost of Catch a Wave by 40%. It also increases your max offshore stacks by 2%, which is going to allow you to obviously get more damage out on your Miyu, which makes this great. But whenever Surf is active, which is going to be your skill 3 pretty much, it will extend the duration of all buffs and debuffs that are applied by one whole turn. This is probably the most helpful thing with the SP cost that you get, especially decreasing the amount that you're going to end up using, seeing that this will play a heavy duty mode for dealing more damage with SP Miyu. Not to mention, if you're able to keep a lot of your SP and then utilize it, you get the most out of your buffs as well. Now, as for the higher end being the A2, this is going to be Roaring Surf line. Now, I don't really agree with going to the A2 for this one, though at the same time, the A2 does have its benefits. Whenever Surf is active, which you're usually going to have this 99% of the time up, you have a 20% crit damage increase. And then every 4 times Catch a Wave is activated, it will then be able to go ahead and do a special Catch a Wave that won't spend any SP, meaning you're going to get an extra damage marker out of this. Well, whenever this does happen here, obviously you get that extra damage. The only downside is you don't get any like offshore stacks for this, so there is a little bit of a problem there, but you still get that extra 20% and that extra attack, meaning you can squeeze out a little bit more damage. Do I think the A2 is really worth it? Not really, unless I'm like going for the highest of the high inside of SOS. Other than that, this character works perfectly fine at A0, and if you did want to invest a little bit, A1 is as far as I would tell you guys to go. That's mainly just me, get everything triggered with that, and I think that's all you got to do. But now we've done with the awarenesses, let's get and check out her teams. Her team is honestly quite simple, and she mainly has 2 that she's going to go ahead and end up using here. The first one being the primary one that I use with Marion Beachflower, as well as Turbo and Ange. This one will get you through a lot of things, allowing you to provide not only just the pin for your absolute team here, but allow you to trigger more follow-up attacks by using Turbo and last a little bit longer on your buffs. And then Marion is over here giving you the extra resonance damage boost that you're going to get from the items. Team's pretty darn good, and it does exploit a lot of Puppet's extra turn and follow-up hits, so this is really helpful to actually use. Though if you don't have Marion, you could very well use Wind Tempest as well, who helps you out. The only other thing that happens with this is you get higher crit damage buffs, but you don't get the extra item use buffs here as well. The cool part though is she is allowing you to get your SP recovery ability a little bit faster by allowing you to recover your SP a little bit quicker as well by using Wind Tempest. So she does have her upsides. Now, of course, if you're looking to the future, here's some future characters you could very well invest into. Fox and Cherish become a very good thing to go ahead and use if you wanted to go ahead and have a full ice team. And if you did want to invest into Fuka as well as Koromaru, they will help out her team as well. Now, there are people who use this team quite a lot, though I'm usually not using it all too often. I kind of stick with the bare bones, which is with my buffers themselves alongside of Ange. But it's still a great team nonetheless. Now that we went over this here, let's talk about her rotation, and then we're going to end out the video. Going over the skill rotation, the character is pretty darn simple. If you really just wanted to use the character at the base, you're usually going to be using the skill 3, which is Paddle Out, into Aerial Tide, which is the skill 2. That will always be the little rotation that you do if you just want to quickly get some damage in and out. Though if you are using Ange, or maybe even Miku at this point in time to some extent, you want to use the other formation that I normally use. This will be the 3-1-1-1 tech here. Pretty much all you're doing is using your third skill, getting a little bit of follow-ups off of that, and then slowly building more and more of your SP up while getting some small minuscule damage off with the one skill. After you end up using this about 4 times, you then want to go ahead and use Aerial Tide, your second skill, to deal your big boy damage moves. Pretty much allows you to build all of your stacks as much as you want to, and then when you're ready to go ahead and use all them stacks, you immediately exploit the skill 2 and deal a lot of damage. Probably going to see a lot of people use this one here, and if it's not going to be this one, you're definitely going to use the 3-1-2 rotation instead, allowing you to not only just get a little bit of follow-ups out of this, but do your damage phase earlier than you would like to do as well. Try to look after this as well. You have a bunch of options with this, and it is very, very helpful. Though keep in mind, it does depend on your party, so make sure you know the right situation when it comes down to it. But with that out the way here, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it means quite a lot to me to see a lot of you guys really click a lot of these videos and continue supporting me over these days. We're getting very close to our 20K mark here, and so if any of you guys can share this around, comment down below, like, and even sub, it really does help quite a lot. Do apologize about my voice a little bit. It is a little bit of grainy today, so hopefully it didn't ruin your experience for the build guide. But till next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp, and have a nice day. Peace.